Would you like me to take the lead?
Yeah, go for it. I even messed up because I looked at the computer.
Go for it.
I'm like, go for it. I'm like,
Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to our podcast.
Overwhelmed
in the realm. So cheesy.
I know. No, I'm like, oh wow. Like maybe we need a new name.
No, the name is fine. We're just cheesy.
Yeah.
I'm Kim.
I'm Aurora. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
First of all, we should start with that.
Like right now it's New Year's Eve, so
yeah.
My face is turning beet red.
Oh God, I know. I'm like, man, it's hot in here.
Take off your
jacket off. You know what? It's worse though because look, I got a red shirt on, so it's like gonna make me either look pale, more pale. I know. Like,
we're already stripping on the first episode.
I'm hot.
Like mine's like a nude shirt underneath, so I just look up naked.
Oh yeah. That's like what some celebrity dresses.
I mean, it's very festive though.
Yeah, I know.
You're red, I'm green and white.
I feel like it's very I don't know, like to me, you're very like earthy, and like with the things that you do, you're very like that. Like, I'm not calling you old, but you're like a grandma.
old
like, yeah, because it's like, you know, you want to like, you're like, oh, I'm in Kim's presence, so I'm chill. Like, I feel like, oh, you know, when you're at grandma's house and you're like, I can relax.
Hello again. We're back from our tangent, so it might be a little jumpy at first. Look up again.
I'm still figuring this out.
Yeah.
This is our third time. It'll get to the point where it's like, this is our, I don't know how many times.
Yeah, so.
Anyways.
Welcome. What we expect from this podcast of Overwhelmed in the Realm. It's kind of just talking about what's making us overwhelmed in this world.
And how we deal with it.
Yeah,
how to help you deal with it. Too.
Yeah.
It's kind of step by step.
More of a friend, because we're not clinically, you know, able to diagnose people or anything. We're just two girls in Texas doing our thing.
I mean, that's typically what people do in Texas. They're like, welcome to Texas. And then you're like, yep. No, right when you hear Texas, you're like, I know I shouldn't expect anything out of this. I'm like, yeah, that explains it. Like,
yeah. Everyone's moved to Texas now.
Either it's Texas or Florida.
Is it?
Yeah, when you hear those two things, people are like, oh, yep. Mostly Florida.
It's like Texas, like everything's bigger in Texas. I'm like,
yeah.
I guess. I mean, never been to Alaska. I mean, the trucks are the same size, I promise you.
Oh, God, yeah. And they need it over there, too, whereas it's more for show over here.
Yeah, we got stuck in the snow one time, and like there was just 3 or 4 vehicles. Like, hey, you want us to pull you out? Whoever wants to pull us out, please.
Yeah. No, only in Texas, it's just a bunch of tow truck guys that all look the same, and they're all kind of like jumping at it. They're like, "Who needs a tow? Who needs a tow?"
On the highway, there's like 10 of them just waiting. Like,
they collect over by the Target by our house, like over on. If every time we have ever gone to Target, there's just guys behind Target, like in tow trucks, just standing around talking, and like I guess that's like the meetup or something. I'm like, oh, I mean,
at least they're friends, and then they'll be competitive later.
Yeah. It's usually how it goes.
Yes. So, different aspects of look up Kim.
Yeah.
Different aspects that we'll probably get into, you know, spirituality, maybe a little bit of like, I guess, organized religion. We don't really talk about it. It's not really our forte. We do have, you know, these things here.
Hi.
Hello again. Hello again. We're still looking down here.
No. I'm like making a habit. I'm like, look at that thing.
Look at the pretty blue light. Actually, that's like my favorite colors. That's cerulean blue on that light.
I used to be a big fan of cornflower blue.
Oh my gosh. That is redneck.
It sounds redneck, but it was like on this very like, like those books that you would read when you were a teenager, and it was like, here's Twilight, and you're like, oh, fantasizing about this vampire boy. I think it was a book about vampires. Nothing.
I'm making notes as we're doing this. I'm like, while we're talking about Cornflower Blue, we'll put it up on the screen.
Gosh, look up I'm gonna look it up. I feel like Everlast. I'm pretty sure that was the book name.
Everlast. I was like, Tuck Everlast? Didn't even know this. It's entirely different.
Everlast, maybe?
Evermore book. I was like, I know there's a book called Evermore, but that was in the Immortal series.
Immortal? Evermore?
Yeah, I think, because her first name was Ever.
Oh,
great book.
Yeah. It was one of those books, actually.
Yeah.
It was like this, but it was like something.
Was it her sister, like the offspin or something? This was like her sister.
Lucinda, and it was like main character. I'm trying to figure it out. I can't even figure it out, man.
We'll probably think of it afterwards, though.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find a clip of it.
Yeah, Evermore really opened me up to the idea of like meditation and all that stuff, and like spirituality. So I read that when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I blew through those books. I was waiting for the next ones.
Yes. and then after a while, they kept coming out with like a new one, and then you're like, okay, this is kind of like, where's the story going? Because they can only make so much of the series until you're like, like I grew out of it.
Yeah, I definitely binge read like the first and like 4.
Yeah.
And then like I had to wait for the other ones to come out. I think it was like 1 or 2 after that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was like it was. I had the whole series. Like I read through them, and then I was like, when's the next one? When's the next one? And then by the time that the next one came out, I was just like, it kind of just lost me.
Yeah, the first handful that I read where they were all like actual books, and then I moved to digits after that because I read them like, I think the last one I read, Abigail was a baby. So it was like years. Good.
Hi, welcome back.
Let me get my drink.
This is take 5.
Between kids and...
I magically spawned on a sweater. You like it?
Snazzy.
Compliment me. I adore compliments.
Yes. Compliment in the comments.
Yes, thank you.
Her lovely sweater.
Something stupid that all YouTubers do. If you like my sweater, make sure to like and comment. And comment.
For more sweaters.
Yeah, and subscribe. Make sure to ring that bell. Like,
but really, guys.
Yeah. But on a serious note. Happy New Year.
It's not quite there yet, but, service announcements.
Yeah, no.
Be kind to your veterans that probably live next door that were probably at war at some point.
They keep popping up, and I thought our neighborhood would not do it because we have such small backyards, but I guess people have figured out a way to celebrate. I mean, I get it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, after this year, they're like, fuck it!
Light them up!
I know, they're like, I just want to blow this whole year away. I get it.
What time is it? Like 7?
Good question.
Like, I'll probably be asleep by that time. The clock strikes 12. Ringing the new year by sleeping.
Yeah.
7:34.
Or if you want to be spiritual about it, just take a bath, get your crystals out, and get a nice bath bomb going.
Yeah.
Some oils in there. Put your intentions, into the new year. Organize, tidy, clean everything to get the
bad juju out.
Yes, the old year, the old year out of the way, and stuff like that.
But take your lessons with you.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. I did a New Year's spread that I think we could try that too if you want to do like a New Year's spread today. I did mine today, so it was good because what I liked about it was that it had the message that you learned about your last year, and then like the reoccurring thing of last year and what you can expect in like the new year. So
yeah,
that's what I liked about it, because I was like, all of them was kind of just more about like the past.
Yeah,
I feel like when it's the new year, you're more worried about like what's gonna happen in the future. Like I kind of want to like go, but
yeah.
So.
I haven't done that yet. I have a hard time reading myself.
Yeah.
Like I've tried. I did one for this podcast, I think. It's all blurry now. All the things are blurring together. I'm like, I did so many in like 1 week.
Yeah.
I guess kind of like what to expect with the podcast. And, I know we did one together, but I did like one separate too. To get more clarity and about the same information. I mean, you can only do so many spreads on the same topic without like getting, or you won't really get much new information because they gave you what they gave you.
Yeah.
Because they can't show you everything because you have to learn and grow into that energy they're showing you.
Yeah. I think a lot of it too is that there is kind of like a time lapse with it too. Like, and people are more impatient and they're kind of like, hey, I want this right now. And it's like, you gotta give it time. Like, yeah, it could branch over the span of like a year, but it's like also, you just kind of have to take time too with it, and which is super freaking important,
Yeah, typically when I do a reading, I focus more on a year. I never go past a year because so much can change within a year.
Yeah.
You make so many different decisions and things change. But if you want a reading over like something that's going to happen next week, well, yeah, it's a little more a tighter timeline and give you more information. But even then, there's things you're not supposed to know. You have to figure out at the end.
Yeah, because a lot of it too is like you reach certain like obstacles, kind of like the butterfly effect, where you reach one point and it's like you can make one decision or the other, and based on that decision then something else can happen too. But I think that's what people are also like thinking, like, oh, I need to bring in another tarot spread or ask again, because they feel like that happens like a lot. But it's like an average day, if you think about it, like I'm mostly sitting on the couch enjoying a cup of coffee. Like, my life isn't really changing.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, something like a major decision happens.
Like this.
Yeah.
This podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's like, okay, yeah, now we can talk about this and how it is going to go,
It's like, now that we've actually have it rolling and not just us chatting about like the imaging, the letter work, and like where we're going to go, what we want to talk about, what what we're going to do in a few months, like just focus on one podcast at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Then you can kind of like, okay, this is how the first one went. This is what I like, this is what I don't like. Now we can move on to the second one.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure we already have like ideas now, and like, oh, what we want to do next time. Like for me, I want more ring lights. I feel like the one isn't enough. Yeah, 3 of them. No. Yeah. Or maybe get a different tripod with the lights on. Maybe one like that one that we have the camera on.
But, I could order stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have tripods with the ring lights on it too. Yeah.
It's like, this one I got here came with 2 tripods, so you can set up, I guess, a phone or a camera on the other one.
Yeah.
So that was nice, but it's the same style. So it doesn't get much higher than
what you're looking at.
Yeah.
That's more for like, I'm gonna do my makeup and like you're gonna watch.
Yeah. I mean, we could attempt that at some point, but it wouldn't go very well. I'm like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. Like, I am not a professional. This is just what I do. I'm like,
if you like what you see here.
Yeah, I'm like,
I mean, if you plan on, if you want to do your own thing on your own channel, I know I have a channel, but I don't have a lot on there, which is Carefree.kimberly. But
I love how you had that in. You're like, yeah, like, I have my own channel, but it's Carefree.kimberly. Check it out. Yeah.
Also Instagram.
Oh yeah, true. It's like the same thing. Yeah. No, I thought about that too because I was like, it'd be nice if like I figure out my own thing, but that's where Tara should come in because I'm like, I'm still trying to figure out my own thing too.
Because there's what, a 6-year difference between our ages.
Yeah, it's not.
I think so.
Yeah.
Or is it 4? You're 24, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Math.
30.
Math,
like,
not.
Yes. Honestly, the like my sister's 26, so you're 24. Yeah. I'm like,
you switch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You feel older than she.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
you also have a kid.
Yeah, that made me grow
Love
up
you,
a
sister.
Lot. Well, I've always too. I feel like I've always kind of had like an old soul because I grew up with my grandparents mostly, so I'm used to being like with.
Maybe that's why you're so comfortable with me because I'm an old person.
Right here. Yeah, I know.
Most of the people I hang out with, like my old lady group that I hang out with, that I crochet with her, I get along with them better, and even when we go up to Galveston, or gets down to Galveston tomorrow, my husband's boss, like his mom and aunt are going to be there, and they're older. Like last year when we went, I just sat there and talked with them most of the time.
Oh yeah.
I was crocheting and just talking with them and having a good old time. And I guess the other ones, or I guess the family enjoyed that because they don't like the aunt. I'm like, she seemed like a nice lady. I don't know. We just had a conversation. Yeah. Keep looking at it.
Oh yeah, like keep your head up. It makes me think of that meme.
The light more than
that's probably why. I just think of that meme where it's like, keep your head up, king. Your crown's falling or something.
I mean, it would be queens here, but
yeah. But I mostly see men sharing that saying that because I'm all for like men helping other men.
We were talking about our big dicks downstairs, so
yeah, true. Apparently, my husband told your husband that I made a character on Cyberpunk that has a big dick, and no, I don't remember that. But then it stemmed into me having a big dick. So
I guess you create what's really happening in the world. You have that big dick energy.
Yes, that's what I was thinking that too. It's like big dick energy. There you go. And I was like, I could do anything.
If only.
Yeah, right. Oh man. But yeah. What made you really think about like getting the podcast though? It was just something that you always thought about?
Yeah, something I thought about, but I didn't have anyone to do it with because I don't think I'm interesting enough. But that's like my own critique on myself. I'm like,
that's true.
That's probably why another thing that like my personal channel that I tried doing, like, I don't feel like I'm interesting enough because I live with myself.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm cleaning, but who really watches this stuff? I watch it.
Yeah.
But who else does? And
like, take pointers. I don't know. It's kind of satisfying when you see somebody else clean. Oh God.
Yeah.
You saw that video where it's like I had to clean a trap house
yes,
or something.
I saw that.
Oh my gosh. And I was like, I don't want to look at this, but like I want to look at it.
Yeah, it's like, thank you for cleaning this. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wow, look at those stains go. Like that's why I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm an old person too, because I'm like, yes, clean. I'm like, yes.
But when it comes to like my own house, I'm like,
oh God, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'll put that on the back burner. Like,
I think I still have a recording of me cleaning my living room. I still have not put out yet. I did that in August. I haven't even edited it, and I'm like, yeah.
It's like the Tiger King documentary where he keeps replaying like him on the hill, like with the tigers, and he's like, I am the Tiger King. I just see you like rewinding, like, yes, clean. I am the cleaning queen.
if I were to keep up with that, though, at least my house would be cleaner than what it is.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No. I only do it, and then it's like, oh, Kim's coming over, and then I'm like, Kim's coming over. I gotta clean. Like, I gotta get like stuff put together.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
slowly it's just gonna fall apart. You're like, yeah, Kim's here. You see me in my Like when y'all first came over, we had to clean.
Yeah.
My house was like, good, like playing Rock Band. We all had room, but now it's just like there's boxes
You're
in
like,
there.
oh, just shove the boxes over to the side. I'm like, oh yeah, food comes out of the couch cushions. So that happens. And like,
yeah,
Or
if you even sit on my couch because I have so much stuff.
Yeah,
I need to put my towels up that have been there for like a week. I'm like,
I mean,
it is winter break too, so I'm just barely alive.
Yeah, no. That's the main thing. It's like if kids are in the house, then it's like I'm not going to get anything done. I mean, as soon as I clean, everything's spotless. I pick up all the toys. I'm just like, wow, I really outdone it. I vacuum the stairs. Then all of a sudden, I have my toddler picking up blocks and then just dumping them everywhere. And my husband comes home and he's got dirty boots going down the stairs. And then I'm just like, why do I clean? Like,
life now. Just in an endless cycle of cleaning. And it doesn't spark joy at all.
No, that's literally
how Maria Kondo this.
Yeah, I'm like, this is literally like what I've been doing.
Joy sucking.
Yeah, because I like literally every single day, and when if I'm home, except for on the weekends, I would do it throughout the week. I would just spend my day cleaning, and then I would have to clean it all again in the morning because by nighttime it's like things get wrecked, and so I'm just like, why do I do this? Like, I'm just going in limbo, basically, where I'm just kind of like, oh, I gotta find my purpose. And I'm like,
and here we are.
Yeah, I know. And then I was like, I gotta do something else, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah, that's when I started crocheting.
Mm-hmm.
It really helped alleviate, but then I'll hyper focus on one thing at a time. So if I'm crocheting, I'm crocheting.
Yeah.
If I'm doing the dishes, I'm doing the dishes. And Daniel, he'll take 30 minutes to do the dishes. But me, I'll take 3 hours. I'll scrub them and get everything done, make everything fit in the dishwasher. And even if you take a plate out and it's clean enough to eat off of, and what's the point of running the dishwasher? But I do it anyways because it's my process.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I do it a certain way. That's why whenever my husband tries to help, I'm like, no, you don't understand. I have a certain way that I need to do it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when he tries to help out with cooking, and he's just making a mess and he's using picking out different utensils out of the drawer, and I'm like, just use the one and stir it, and then that's it. You don't have to worry about it. But yeah, poor him, because he's like, I'm trying to help you, and I'm like, I know, but you don't understand.
Yeah, I have a method to my madness, and you're fucking it up.
I know, it's a process.
Yeah, poor Daniel today. I needed help putting the because we have a fake tree, so you have to push all the branches in. You have to do it a certain way, and I can do the top by myself, but there's the lower levels that are on a hinge. So I tie them up with string so they stay together.
Yeah.
And the way I fold all the little branches up is so it's very small.
Yeah.
It doesn't take up a lot of room.
Yeah.
And he's just rah, rah, rah. I'm like, oh.
Oh no.
And I was like, hold on, I gotta fix it. And he's like, okay. I'm just trying to help you. I'm like, yeah, you're doing a good job. So I don't want to
oh yeah.
make it the negative energy or whatever. But I'm like, so he would pull them close. I would meticulously then wrap this one around so these are small and next layer. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
he's trying to be nice. I just needed him to hold up the thing so I could tie it.
Yeah,
that was all I really needed. But he was he took it a step further. I'm like, I'm just gonna take it. It's not gonna be an argument because it's not something that needs to be an argument.
Yeah. That's with the couch that we got for his coworker, and the handle was broken, and so I bought the part, looked exactly like the handles that are already on there. I went and I researched how do you put this handle on it, and I as soon as he got in, I was like, you just need to flip over the couch so I could get to the cable underneath. And you need to flip it over from the back so that it's just it's just at a triangle and it's holding up its own weight. That's it. he goes in and he flips it from the front, so one of us had to hold it up the whole time, and then he wanted to take over, and it's like, no, I specifically like researched this, I specifically like knew what I was doing, and I was like, you know what, I'll just let him do whatever he wants, I'll let him figure it out, it's on him. Like,
you're like cussing underneath. You're like,
yeah, I did. He was like, oh man, I can't figure the, and I'm like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I told you.
Yeah, Daniel's like started leaving the building and fixing things up to me because I'm more handy
Oh yeah.
than he is. Like, he'll try, but he gets so angry and like he doesn't know his own hand strength sometimes, and he'll break things. And I'm like, it's yeah. So like most of the stuff that is in our house that had been built. Like my mom has helped with the computer desk. Like my whole like king size bed, I did that all by myself.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and I love it though.
Yeah.
I'm like, who knew, huh?
Yeah.
Females would be doing this. I'm like, you know, the bed, the dresser, like stuff like that. It's like, I get that.
Yeah, it's like you have to be slow. Not only slow, but like gentle, but slow and steady wins the race. Not like fast and hard.
Like, let me just get this power tool and ram it, because that's what Zach does.
And then like you break the wood when you do that.
Yeah, the wood splits or the screw strips, and it's like, okay, well, can't do it now. So I'm like, oh well.
I had to thank my theater teachers for teaching me how to build though, because we had to build whole sets.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I had like they gave out awards at a banquet. It was silly awards, but I think I was like the ratchet queen, or I forget the term, but it was like I was one with the ratchet. It was my ratchet, and then I got to pass it on to like it was a girl, I guess boy now, named Skittles. We named her Skittles. Her then boy now.
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me that that's the way she went or he went. Terms.
Yeah.
But pass it down to Skittles, and and then he passed it down to someone else, I'm sure, but I didn't get to see that part because I graduated. So when you graduate, all your awards get passed down. Like I was awarded stage left, so I got to pass that down too, and it was a whole thing. It was nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like a legacy thing too.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm passing this down and giving it to somebody.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't know if they're still doing it now, but there's a thing that we did like, at the first show and the last show. We'd sing Peanut Butter Jelly Time, but like, I'm not saying like we'd scream it and jump up and down.
Oh
my gosh, it was great. It was like our good luck thing. I wonder if they're still doing that. That'd be great, because it started when I was like 10 years ago.
I imagine so, because something like that, it's like it also hypes you up too.
Yeah, it was always after the show. It's like we would remember opening night. We like all the people that knew. It was like a kind of this initiation. It's like, oh, it's almost time. It's almost time. Yeah. And we'd all go around. We'd get out of our costumes and everything, and like people were like, what do you mean it's almost time? Like, it's almost time. It was great.
Yeah, and they're like, oh man, those theater kids are annoying.
And all you hear down like there's like a giant hallway. And like I guess it opens into the cafeteria now, but it was like a giant hallway. You just hear like a screaming. It's been a butter jelly time. Like the whole like where you at? Yeah, all of it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I feel like everybody's like, man, I hate those theater kids, because it's like,
but it was great.
Yeah, because like you form like the best bond with people too, because you're all kind of like bonding over like opening yourself up, and like I'm super nervous to like go out on stage, but at least I have like you there, so it's like,
yeah, I had the an award because every time I got nervous to go on stage, I had to pee.
Oh no.
Not like it was like a nervous thing, so yeah, so I had an award that was like, I think I got a pee award. And that one died with me. I don't think I passed that on to anyone.
Yeah, that one sticks with you.
Yeah.
You're like, can I just pass that on to somebody?
Yeah, I've gone back and looked at some like the newer pictures that they have on their Facebook page, and I'm like, some of these people look a lot like people I went to high school with. And it made me think, like, do the same type of like people, like the way they look, like cycle through the same things like There's one kid, Brandon, and like when I was in high school, and now there's another kid. I don't know the kid's name, but looks a lot like Brandon. And I'm like, is it just like a thing with the same people that look alike, just kind of gravitate to the same stuff?
That's actually, yeah. I wonder that too. It's actually kind of like one of those things that me and one of my friends were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying like, if you're a Taurus, she was saying like the way that she thought about like Taurus people was like she thought of them as like naturally beautiful, like they had kind of like not like Renaissance features, but kind of like when you look at the painting and you look at them and like they're not wearing makeup and like the way they look, it's like naturally like elegant enough, I guess,
Very symmetrical features.
Yeah, and like the fact that she was like, I just see like more of the earthy people.
Yeah.
As like they don't have to wear makeup to be beautiful because they kind of have like the symmetry. And it's kind of like what you were saying where you watched one lady that had like Leo features where she did her hair up very big and stuff.
Vedic astrology, Joni Petrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe she mentioned before that she's a Leo rising, which more focuses on your features.
Yeah.
And that's your first house for Vedic astrology. And so that more focuses on outer appearance. And like she does the cat eyes. She's an older lady too. So not much older. She's actually from Dallas.
Oh yeah.
And she has like big like mane of blonde hair. And like she looks it like she could have like a double Leo in her chart as well.
Yeah.
So where it's like very strong and prominent. And she has her own little conference that happens in Dallas too, but it's too expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Like I consider it, but I'm like, astrology, like I can grasp like a little bit of it, but it's just so in depth. It like I'm like I can't fit any more in.
Yeah. The thing like too with different like astrologists, it's like I get it to like a certain point, but it's like there's only so much that I could take in without like it's like literally like what I've noticed like on my journey of going through and like actually accepting like the spiritualness and like learning all of this stuff and learning the in-depth stuff. No, I'm like, I don't know what I'm
doing. We were on a thing, and then and Ryan's like, ooh.
Oh man, I've noticed pit bulls, bully breeds especially, most neediest dogs.
Yeah.
People are so scared of that breed, but I'm just like, yeah. I'm just like, man, all they need is love. That's all they want. They're like, I just need love and attention.
So Juniper's like that, but only in the morning?
Yeah. That's the thing with cats. They're like,
feed me right now.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I love you. You're the one who feeds me.
Oh my God, please, I'm hungry.
Yeah, and then they get food and they're like, okay, go.
All right, you can go now.
Yeah.
I'm done with you.
Yeah, they're like, you served your purpose. Bye, peasant. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, she's like, I have, it's, I guess to be a little thing next to my bed. I showed it to you. What's the term for it? Like a wind chime. But I hang it next to my bed. And it's little agates, like slices of agate. And then she'll come over if I'm not waking enough fast enough. She'll just paw at it. And then I grab her and I throw her off. I'm like, no, no way. I'm like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh gosh, no.
Like typically, even when the kids are going to school, like I don't wake up till 5:45. I like to have that 15 minutes of peace to brush my teeth and take a piss.
Yeah. It's like I would like to. Being a mom, it's like it's the little things. You're like, I'd like to go to the bathroom without somebody opening the door and wondering where I've been.
What's that smell, Mommy? Well, you walked in on me.
Yeah.
What did you expect?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing using the bathroom? Oh, and then she like full on looks in the toilet and I'm like,
did you find something interesting in there?
Like, is there a reason? Like, are you doing a checkup? Like,
all right, Doc McStuffins, get out of here.
I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, Juniper, she's obsessed with the toilet. She will push open the door, and like if I'm going to the bathroom and I'm taking too long, she'll plop on my lap. Actually, I have scratches because she tried to get on my lap when I was in the middle of wiping.
Oh no!
And she like, oh, I couldn't get up, and then she latched onto me instead. I'm like, really? Couldn't you just fall on the ground instead of like clawing me? She'll lay on my lap, and like that's her favorite spot to catch me because I can't move because I have to wipe. Yeah, that like since like the door doesn't lock, she knows how to push it open.
Yeah, there's always good and bad with dogs and cats.
Mm-hmm.
At least the dogs. I mean, they're there, but like they're there in the doorway, just like staring at you. And I'm like, I got like 3 sets of eyes, like just watching me. Like, okay.
So Juniper's very good at tripping me in the morning because I can't see when I come out of the bathroom.
Oh my gosh!
Like I'm done with everything. I come out, meow. I'm like, where are you? I walk and she's right there. You're trying to kill me is what you're doing.
Yeah.
And don't kill the person that feeds you because the other one won't.
Exactly. Oh yeah. He's like,
you're my cat, not her cat.
Yeah, I don't like you, man.
Not his cat. Not his cat.
Oh. So with it being the new year, how does the cycle go? Does it start with like how the zodiacs are, where it's like, you know, we're in or going into Capricorn phase, but like with astrology and like, you know, is it like, oh, we're at this moon, like I hear, you know, we're in this phase of Saturn or like the
yeah. I don't know. Like if you're talking about like the new year for a zodiac would be Pisces going into Aquarius, Pisces going into Aries. That's like a new year for that because Aries is the first house.
Mm-hmm.
But determining all the other things, I'm like,
yeah, because like who was it that we
Alyssa Trahan?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's the one that was
Trahan.
Yeah, she was the one that was like, okay, we're in like, what was it, Aquarius rising or like Aquarius?
We're going into the age of Aquarius, or like we're already in the age of Aquarius. It's like it's been happening since the 70s because it's like
hence that one song.
Yeah.
That's how I remember. I'm like, oh yeah, that was like that was on a 40-year-old virgin, right?
yeah. But yeah, we're going into that. I mean, she'd probably be a better person to follow than us about astrology. I mean, I know bits and pieces. It's just soaking it all in. I know a little more about Vedic astrology than I do Western tropic astrology.
Oh, is that what they're basing it off of? It's like the Western?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alyssa Trahan, she knows both of them, but she prefers Western tropical. And then Joni Patri, she knows both of them, but she prefers Vedic astrology.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's like
best of both worlds.
Yeah.
If you want to like dip into them. Yeah.
Like in Vedic astrology, I am a Gemini rising. My sun is still Aries, and then my moon is Sagittarius. But over in Western, it just tipped into Cancer for my rising, but everything else is the same. Like I'm 2 degrees into Cancer, so I have influences of both.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like right in that first, second degree.
Okay, so do you think with Western that it kind of changes if you switch it over from?
Yeah, typically one of yours will probably be different. But you'll have to look it up. Daniel, like I think his sun sign is Libra as opposed to a Scorpio, which is like I have to go and look at everyone else again. But excuse me, my friend Amanda, who also has a YouTube channel, she's a lot more farther along than I am with all of her stuff, but she can run, like, she has the program to run the Vedic astrology stuff. She get like all the charts. She can't read them she can read them better than I can, but I mean, it's still so much.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of people on YouTube that are more, they have like universities and stuff for it.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm just thinking, like, it's as big as, like, the universe, like, how much information there's out there of it.
Yeah.
It's just, different people have different ideas, and, like, it's based on the same stuff, but, like, they think, well, this star being here means this, or this planet being there means that, but at this particular degree it could mean this. It's like...
Yeah, which kind of makes it more believable how complicated it is, though.
Yeah.
Because it's
Very
like, if you think about it,
overwhelming.
like, everybody's so different.
Mhm.
Everybody's, like, so complicated to figure out. But it's like, and that's why, like, people are, like, what was it? There was a meme where it was like, women will run over a curb and be like, oh, I'm such an Aquarius or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, obviously I'm empathetic, spiritual, and my husband's like very like point blank, logical,
Yeah.
and he's like, I never get this stuff. Like, you can never categorize it into one personality. And it's like, yeah, you're right. You can't, because if you look at it like regarding, the planets, the stars, or how everything's aligned, like if you were to get like charts out, it's so much more complicated than that.
You can't just go based off of your sun sign. Like, I don't relate to my sun sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't, like, my sun sign's an Aries. I keep on saying Aquarius. Aries. And, like, I am not extroverted. I feel like I'm not very, like, take the lead. I'll take the lead if I need to, but, like, everything that an Aries is, I don't feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel more, I guess, down to earth, or more, like, calm, quiet, collected. I guess that could be because of Cancer. Maybe my Scorpio is a moon, even though, like, they're both fire.
Yeah.
Not Scorpio, sorry. Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a muted sign, so I guess, like, it's more introverted.
I don't know. Bailey Sarian, she's a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
And yet she's, I think there was one interview and she's like, but I'm like, I'd rather stay at home, and like, I'm very introverted and stuff like that. So
yeah, doing stuff like this is different than like being out there in the real world.
Yeah, it's like, I feel more comfortable talking to an inanimate object than I would to go out and like talk to somebody.
That thing's not going to judge us. Maybe the people that might watch it later.
Yeah.
It's just like, we'll just...
I'm like, oh.
I can ignore them for the most part.
Yeah, it's like,
so
you just don't...
the same bad thing over and over again, but it's just, that's when you have to, bring your spirituality in, and make sure that just because they're saying that, I mean, that's their opinion. And
I'm accepting of other people's opinion. That's my thing, is like, I'm open. I don't judge people, honestly. I can honestly say, like, I don't judge people. I don't tell people that they should live a certain life.
Yeah.
I let them, go on and whatever. But, there's people out there that want more regulation, and, even with other people's lives, where they're kind of like, well, they, I'm just kind of like, things kind of go off to how they are.
You can think of it like, there's libertarians that are socialists.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's so broad that it's like...
It's like, libertarians, they just want to be left alone, but they want you to, like, be able to be who you want to be. If you want to be a socialist, go make a compound and be a socialist in the compound. And that you're free to do that. But don't make your ideas of the world, like, force me to do something I don't want to do. Yeah. So, the way that I see it is... Yeah. But, there's other people that will be judgmental, and that's okay. You're free to your opinion, but it's like, I think that's another thing too. It's like, the more that I've accepted myself, the more that I'm like, I don't really care how other people view me, because it's like, I'm fully like grasping who I am as a person, and I'm feeling more confident in myself to, do that. I mean, as like, you're still, under the age of 25, so your brain hasn't technically stopped growing yet.
Yeah, I know. But I'm on a good track course, though.
I mean, you're able to, like, you're probably the kind of person that, like, learns from the people around you too. Like, you watch them, you're like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You learn their lessons by watching. That's what I do too.
Yeah.
That's like, I guess, another reason why I have an old soul. Because I saw a lot of stuff, like, when I was younger. I'm like, I don't want to be about this life. And I just kind of took those lessons and trimmed them internally, and that was about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, going back to like how people are like different and complicated too. It's like you could get the same person. I think of like sometimes well, not sometimes, but I also always put in like not only like my spiritual self, but I also think of like the psychological aspect of it. If you get people that were raised the same way, they're not all going to have the same outcome.
Yeah.
Like people are going to like look at the situation and be like, that was, very shitty upbringing, I need to learn from it and I'm going to grow from it. Whereas other people, they're like kind of stuck in it.
Yeah.
And then, they keep going with it because they're like, maybe some of them don't have the same opportunities or whatnot.
It depends on your upbringing, where you grew up in the world, and I mean, someone that's in third world countries not going to have the same opportunities, and they have different
Yeah.
first world problems, third world problems.
Yeah.
It's just I lost my train of thought.
I know. I'm like sitting here, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what are we talking about?
It's like I can relate like what you were saying. I know I'm gonna relate stuff a lot back to my life because it's how I relate to the world. Just by comparing it, and I'm sure people will catch on to that. It's not that I'm trying to be selfish or talk about myself, but that's the way I relate to the world. Like, oh, you said this thing. This is how I relate to what you say.
Yeah.
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 So I'm gonna have to state that right now.
Yeah.
And it's not about me. It's about me understanding and relating to it by applying it to something that's happened to me. So
I think I shared something like that because I do that a lot when people have an issue, and then I'm like, yeah, that happened to me once, and blah 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 blah. It's just me like being like, you and I are now connected. Like I get where you're coming from.
I can show you empathy because I understand.
Yeah.
Not sympathy, but the empathy.
Yeah, and that's super important.
Yeah.
I remember where I was going with this now. Okay. Yeah, like, because you mentioned like looking at another person and being like, oh, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But also too, I was also very sheltered too growing up.
Yeah.
Being, no, I'm not, well, I have 2 half sisters that I know of. I could probably have more siblings out there, but anyways, I have like 2 half sisters, but essentially I am my dad's only child, and I'm a girl, and so he's very like, you are gonna get protected and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
protect the innocent child.
Yeah, so it's like I have that balance in me where I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. And then sometimes I'm like, well, I need to figure it out for myself too, because I'm also, in a way, I'm kind of like, especially when I turned 18, I was like, I don't know what the heck is going on. Or, I was just very like naive, and like, I was like, well, hanging out with a boy doesn't really mean like, stuff is going to happen. And then it's like, oh, typically does, so I'm like, oh, okay, there's some lessons that you kind of have to like
go through.
Yeah. Not saying like go hang out with a boy alone, like don't do that, but like just like if I could go back to like 18-year-old self, I'd be like, hey.
Yeah, but then if you didn't learn that lesson then, what would you know about it now?
Yeah, that's true too.
Even the little lessons are something.
Yeah. Yeah, if a boy says, hey, we're going to watch a movie and play on the Xbox, and you get there and there's no Xbox, leave.
He thinks you're the Xbox. Like, he's going to push your button.
Yes, exactly. And it's like...
he's going to charge...
and charge your battery.
He's gonna plug into your port.
That's when you say, you're player one. Like, this is not a multiplayer game. And then
enjoy that hand.
Yeah, and then leave. I'm like, okay, bye-bye.
Like nowadays, you have Uber and stuff. You're good.
Yeah, I'm like,
please. Like when I was a teenager, that wasn't the same. It was like taxis and like, nope.
Or you call your parents and then you're like, but I don't ever do that,
Yeah. I had to call my mom once because I was at a friend's party, but it was like all the way out in Pandora. It was way out there.
Oh, God.
And I was there because like I miss her because she moved from my town to Pandora, and like people started pulling out alcohol and drugs and weed, and I'm like, no, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't like. I was gonna spend the night and everything, and I'm like, I don't want to be around all of this.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's gonna be like later on. I can't like. It's her house. I can't like lock the door. There's like 20 people here. Like some of them I knew, which was fine, but some I didn't because they're from her school. So I'm like, I'm not feeling this. I think it was me and my friend Deborah. I think we both went out there, and we're like, no.
Yeah. I'm like okay. Bye. I'm like, Mom.
Yeah. I was like, I had to make it. I don't think I made an excuse. I was like, I'm not going to be here with the pot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that's a different time, too, when pot was a little more controversial as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that's like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's such a short amount of time, but how quickly things change.
Yeah. Or even your opinion on pot changes.
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't mind people doing it. It's just I didn't want to be around it.
I used to think that it was just like, oh, medicinal. Yeah, totally do it. And then I was like, oh, isn't it one of those weird drugs where you're like, oh, I'm addicted and, whatever. Because in a way, like, I remember in high school, like, people showed up high and it's like, I get, like, even as an adult and after, like, trying it, like, I get it to an extent, but, like, I wouldn't have showed up to school high, I wouldn't have done that. But I think to certain people, maybe it is a different feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe it is one of those things where it's like people do tend to get addicted to it, but...
Yeah, they use it as a crutch.
Yeah.
Or a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
When really, like, it's just putting off what you need to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter, like, what type of thing you use, if it's medicinal or if it's given to you by a doctor.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, an actual, like, medical thing. But more of, like, anxiety and stuff and just general anxiety, not even, psychiatry, like... But, like, going to school and having anxiety because of the people you're around or whatever. It's just, like, some things you kind of have to... pick it, like, battle a little bit so you can get through it and know that you're stronger on the other side.
Yeah, because you do have to build up your own stress too.
Yeah.
I feel like weed's probably just one of those things where you're like, I got nothing going on in life. I got nothing bad or nothing, nothing really going on. And then you're like, yeah, I just sit here and eat chips and feel okay. And then, instead of just like, I'm going to use it and then show up to work stoned. And then it's like,
yeah,
what's wrong with you?
Yeah, so I'm like, over my head. Like, I've done it a few times. Like, I've gotten high, but it was never like goofy having fun, or mellow. It's more like, I'm tired now because I can barely keep my eyes open. And like, even if it's there's like I think 2 types. There's the one that makes you go to sleep, and the one that like doesn't do that. And I've had them both, and they both do the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's just they all have the same effect where it's like you feel nice and chill and relaxed. And
I'm gonna just
not me. I'm just like, I'm gonna eat this whole bag of chips. I'm like, watch me do it.
And there's one time where I made like some bomb ass mac and cheese though.
Or so you think. Like, I wonder if like it's just one of those things where
just,
it's like
basic mac and cheese, but it was like bomb.
Yeah, like you get out of it and you're like, I'm gonna try and recreate it, and you're like, this tastes like ass. What was I doing? Yeah.
Because like I made it the same way every single time, but that time it was another level.
Yeah. I remember my husband was cutting a pizza and we were both high, and I took a picture because I was like, oh my gosh, you're cutting it straight. And I was so fascinated that he was high and cutting a pizza straight. And I was just like, whoa, you're so awesome. And I had a random picture of like our pizza that night on my phone for like forever. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that happened.
It's not even straight, but it looked straight at the time.
It was so horrible. It was like when you cut something straight and then you're like, wait a minute, that's not level, so you cut it again and then there's that little sliver. It was like that. It was like
so
the
good.
difference between I was like, you know what? But it was like amazing in my mind. Oh my gosh. You know, even getting drunk, it's just like, gosh, I remember the first time I did. And, you know, going back to like, I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
I was naive. Like, I never really, you know, drank, and I never went to like a party because I was always like sheltered and like, you know, you stay home, you know. I think that's why I'm kind of an introvert, because I'm like, I'm used to sitting by myself and being okay with that.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah. And I remember my first party, and I remember I was so drunk that my husband was like, you know what? You need to eat something. He's like, here, eat this donut. And like, they had Krispy Kreme. So I bit into it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like looking at it, and I like ripped it, and I was like, oh, I'm so strong. And I was so amazed that I ripped this donut in half, and I was like, I am so strong. And I'm like, looking back, I'm just like, oh, it's funny, like when you grow older and you do that kind of stuff, because you're like, I just want to go to sleep after I have like a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like,
it hits differently. Our liver's like, now we're done, we're spent.
Yeah, they're like,
one's done.
He's like, our kidneys are like, what are you doing? No.
We're too old for this now.
KO.
Yeah. Like, I was always a giggly drunk.
Yeah.
Giggly, having fun. And if someone threw up, I was mom drunk.
Yeah.
I would sober real quick. I'm like, here's some water, here's some bread. I got you.
Exactly. You
Get
just
back.
snap out of it. Oh, gosh. I remember that too. Like, my friend, I was like, here, you just gotta keep eating snacks. So I kept making snacks. I'm like, have some water. And it was weird because it's like I'm drunk, but then I can like turn sober, and then I could go back to drunk. Because I'm like, oh, I'll let my guard down.
It's like the thing is adrenaline. It's like you turn the adrenaline on to come back out of it, and you're like, I'm back.
Yeah, you're like,
and
okay.
By the end of the night, you're like, I had some good night's sleep last night.
Yeah. And too, another thing too, like, it's good to kind of have an experience of like, you know, drinking and whatever, because you understand your tolerance, because you're like I get really nauseous if I'm like drunk, and I'm like, the room is spinning, and I'm gonna throw up if I don't eat something, if I don't drink something. But if like now, if I drink, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of feeling that buzz, I'll keep it here, you know. And then by the time that I try to go to sleep, I'm not laying there with my head spinning, and I'm like, oh God, this is gonna be a horrible night. Like,
see, most people, they hate the spins, but I love the spins
because they rock you.
They rock you to sleep. I'm like, this is nice. I don't have to put my foot on the ground or anything. At least not I don't know about now.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that drunk in a while. I've never blacked out.
Yeah.
No matter how much I've had.
Oh God.
Yeah, I've never blacked out. I think the most I had was when me and Daniel were having our first anniversary, and we went up to Chena Hot Springs in Alaska when we lived there. And like, I was just knocking them back, and the bartender said that, like, she was like, I don't speak drunk when I talk.
Huh. Dang.
From what I'm aware of. But I mean, everyone's drunk around me at the same time, I don't know. But I mean, the bartender kept giving me drinks, so I'm like, I don't know how many I had, but we had like a $300 tab after that.
Oh my
God. I had like twice as much as Daniel. And Daniel's like a bigger guy than me.
Yeah.
So, and he was like drunk, and they cut him off.
Oh yeah. Like, you're done.
Yeah, like, and when I walk, I can walk straight. Like, my vision is a little messy, but I can walk straight.
Dang.
Not anymore though.
Oh
like,
my God.
If I drink like one Smirnoff, I have a headache now.
Oh yeah, no. If I have like a glass of wine, I'm like, woo.
It's like, but we're really, you finished yours already.
Oh yeah, I was thirsty. I'm not an alcoholic. I was like sitting here. I'm like,
we've been talking for almost an hour now, so
you know, it's good. I don't have any of the kids bothering me. It's
like,
okay.
It's probably downstairs or
yeah, we have yet to do like our tarot anyway. So it's like we got
chatting and getting to know us, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Well, up there, Kev.
Yeah. Chin up, your crown is falling.
We should put a crown.
Yeah, I know, like a little practice, like a book or something.
Yeah, just here, right here.
Yeah, don't let the cards fall.
There we go.
Yeah, no, but like, oh
No,
gosh.
shit.
But no, now it's like if you give me a glass of wine and turn on Mamma Mia, I'll start singing and dancing. I'm
Yeah.
like, woo!
I wish we had rock band like on.
Yes.
That would have been a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, I think about that too. I'm like, I really want to play rock band next time.
Yeah.
Like, it was so fun.
Yeah. I mean, you did good on the mic, and then we just need to get everything else.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard to find it, all that stuff, and making it all work.
I think it's more of the nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I mean, with the new PS5 coming out, they're gonna have a new rock band.
Supposedly, like after that night, I looked it up, and they're like, rock band's coming out. We're gonna bring out a new one in this like next year, and so I'm like, hopefully it's true,
Yeah, but being able to afford the PS5 and rock band, all of the instruments, like I wish they didn't have like a limited supply of them, or they only made them for like they made like a small amount, and like which makes it to where people like buy it all and then they just sell it on eBay for triple the price.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
There's people that actually want to go out there and enjoy it and can't afford that.
Yeah. Well, that amazes me that they're still tripling the price, because at this point it's like, you know what? If you really think about it, like the rock band equipment, like how much can it really sell?
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are out there like looking for it?
Yeah. So just as a special item.
Yeah.
And like when we were looking, couldn't even find like the generation that we needed for the PS4. We had to go to the PS3 and buy the dongles or whatever the heck they're called, dongles. Yeah. So we can actually have the guitar hook up. Like we could find the microphone fine. That was still being made on Amazon. I mean, that was easy. We could probably do 2 microphones as well, and y'all could like harmonize or something.
Do they have an option of 2 singers? Mm-hmm. Oh dang!
I believe so. And then the guitars that we have are either PS2 or PS3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you have to find the dongle that goes with the right guitar, because there's specific dongles for different specific guitars. Like,
oh man, rock band, you make it so complicated.
Can we just streamline this? Just make it like a universal dongle?
Yeah, just like it's like the universal handlebar that I was talking about. Yeah, make it like that. Just make it to one thing, please.
Yes.
It's like, I just want to play rock band.
Rock band, but I would set up for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I enjoyed Dungeons and Dragons, but I enjoyed it more as like one of the
players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, as a dungeon master, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to disappoint you or Daniel, because I'm like,
well, I mean, honestly, you're going to disappoint us because we had Jason as a dungeon master, so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's like
he ran a game shop. There's no like beating that.
Yeah, no, and I'm like, oh dang, like I know, I'm like, oh man, I can't make it like good, and I'm still learning.
It was good when you did it, okay?
Yeah,
you did a really good job. We were very satisfied. Thanks for satisfying us.
Good. Like rating, it's like satisfactory. Like, yeah, no, but yeah, it's all kind of just different, I guess, but
yeah. We get to learn a different aspect of it, and it'll probably make you appreciate being like, I guess when you're behind the wall, or behind the whatever, can't think of the word. It's this thing.
The border or something?
Yeah, I guess behind the wall. We'll go with that. You get to like see all the intricate things that happen, like as opposed to being a player.
I don't know. That's why I like being a player, because you know how I am, where I'm like, I need the little details to get the big picture. Mm-hmm. I'm always asking the right questions. I'm like, okay, well, is there this? Can I do this?
But imagine how being a DM is going to help you with that as being a player, because you'll get to see what it's like being a DM. You're like, oh, I can ask this specific question. It's almost like metagaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I'm secretly like cheating, but like not.
Yeah.
It's legal.
Yeah, it's like I know which question to ask, and hopefully like
something pops up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Or the DM will be like, nope. I know what you're doing. Nope.
Yeah. It also depends on the DM too, because they're like, I'll let it pass, and then like,
just go listen to that podcast again.
Yeah, I know. There's so many podcasts that I need to catch up.
Yeah, I like.
Watch me not even watch this podcast. I'm just like, oh, I know what I said.
I was there.
I was there.
Like, I think I'll have to edit it. But I'll show you the ropes of editing as well.
Yeah, and then we could also just edit, because I like editing too. Yeah, I like being behind the scenes of things too. I guess, yeah.
That's the word, behind the scenes, that I was looking for. Being behind the scenes.
Yeah, there you go.
It was come to me
Border
eventually.
the wall. The wall. I thought you meant like, you know how DMs, they'll have like the folder.
Yeah.
And it'll be like an actual like wall.
It's an actual wall. I'm like, there's a different word for this.
Yeah. The thing. Oh yeah, you know the
border. The sheet thing.
Yeah, the folder.
Yeah, folder.
$5 at the game shop. You know.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And I feel like that's a woman thing, where you're like, thingy, and then you're like, I know what you're saying, and it's like, thanks, even though I didn't like say.
I can. Your image is being portrayed into my mind.
Oh, telepathic. Yeah. Telepathy. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Third eye.
Syncs up just like our peers.
Yeah. Right. That's exactly what.
Honestly, I don't think ours is synced up yet.
No.
I was like, no.
No. Although I did start it 3 days earlier than my last time, which I'm not too worried about, because I'm like, as long as it's not 35 days or something like super long like that, and as long as it's like, well, isn't it like 28 to 35 or something?
Yeah, I think it's like 28 because it's like the moon cycle.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's a cycle, because typically it's like it goes with the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're underground, then you won't have one if you're underground too long.
Oh yeah, because well, it was day 27, but the thing is, it was always normal for me to get it kind of the night before, you know, as long as it's like relatively around that time, then I'm not like freaking out. I mean, it used to be like 26 days, and I was still like, yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
I think mine's like anywhere between 20 to 31.
I used to have them where it was like 3 weeks straight, and then I would not have a period for like 3 days. I'd be like, okay, good. Yeah, no. It was like, well, yeah, the thing too is like Zach and I never used protection during that time either, which was stupid, because it's like we were dating. So it's like some stuff could have happened, but it didn't happen. So, because my hormones were off. Basically, if I was, starting and keeping it up for 3 weeks, then basically there's something off about your hormones. But yeah, so it's just kind of weird. Yeah. And I knew I wouldn't get pregnant this last month because I was at my sister's, and I'm not gonna.
You're like, no.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, we conceived you at your aunt's house. It's like, that's weird. Like, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna happen.
Yeah, we conceived Abigail after we went to Chena Hot Springs.
That sounded romantic as shit, though.
I mean, people like actually go and visit there to further fertility.
Oh, really?
Because you have the hot springs.
Oh.
I thought it was a joke. Oh. It's not a joke, guys.
Yeah, like, hey.
we went a whole, like, I mean, not really a whole year. Like, every time we would meet up before, because he was in Alaska and I was in Texas. And, we, have it all out. Never got pregnant, even during, like, ovulation and stuff.
Yeah.
And the month after we go to Chena Hot Springs, bam, pregnant.
Dang. Just crank the bathtub heat up and just sit in it.
Something about the minerals.
Yeah. It's just weird how fertility works, too.
Yeah. That it was just the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out I was pregnant, like, the same week I got pregnant, because I was having ovulation cramps and stuff while we were, like, having sex and everything. So I was like, oh, I was ready to stop.
Yeah.
And like there's bleeding, and like I thought I was gonna miscarry.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't. She's downstairs.
Oh, dang.
I was like, you need a pelvic rest for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, because it was like our first 3 months being up there, so it was the honeymoon period.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get to spend our first year together. First year as a married couple because he was in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Makes sense.
We had our honeymoon period.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah. Over there and over there and there.
Yeah. All over that house. Except for the basement. That wasn't as fun.
It's weird what ovulation pain is. Because I'm like, I like looked it up and it's like, yeah, only 20% of women experience ovulation pain. And I was like, I never realized how like uncommon it was because like when I was over at my sister's, I was like, I'm definitely feeling it. I need a heating pad. I'm going to stay here for a little bit and then we'll decide what to do, It's just kind of weird that it's not really that common.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird.
And it could have been implantation pain, I guess. I should say, not ovulation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still...
Yeah, it's like...
around the same time, too.
Like, I didn't feel anything with Emily, though. I was like, oh, I'm like 6 weeks pregnant right now. I wasn't, like, nauseous at all. I was just, my period was late.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, guess I'm gonna take a test to look I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't even see a doctor until about 18 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I had to get on Medicaid and all that because he was just out of the military. So all we had was like the $900 they give you until you can get onto VA.
Yeah. That with Adeline, same thing. Well, I saw her really early. I kind of caught on that I was pregnant pretty early because I was like, I'm off my birth control and like my period's late, and so I tested, and then I think I was around like 2 or 3 weeks pregnant, and then when I went to my appointment, I think I was only like 4 weeks pregnant. Because they were like, yeah, you're like really early. Like she's like this big. Like she's very small.
Did you use the stick?
Yeah, and they had a probe, and I was like, oh great, yeah. And so like, and then they tested again because I was like, yeah, wouldn't I be like a month late or something like that? For some reason I thought it was around Christmas that we did it, but it was like early January or something. So they're
ringing in the new year, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, there we go. Like, and funny enough, we had our first year as a married couple, and then got pregnant. So it was like, same thing. Yeah, it was like, well, at least we had that first marriage alone where we can.
Well, we only had 3 months technically, but first year, yeah.
Yeah, where you're like, kind of be with each other, but Yeah, no. And then I kept getting checkups until like we ended up moving from Utah to Virginia. Then I had to figure out.
It's a very big move.
Yeah. So Zach drove the whole time,
Yeah.
Which is sweet of him, but he was like, I'm not gonna let you drive. I'll do it. It's whatever. So we waited until I was 17 weeks, and I was like, are you going to use the probe thing? And they're like, no, we just put it on your stomach like you're okay. And I was like, oh, good.
Like, were you all both in the military at the time?
No. I got out in October 2016. He got out in February of 2017. So he just got out of the military.
Okay. So then y'all are driving back to his home state.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that's weird that they like let you station at the same place. Even if you're married, you don't always get that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why Zach is like, oh, it was fate that, we met and stuff because, we showed up at Utah at the same time. And even it's funny because it's like I'm the spiritual one and I'm the one that believes in, all this stuff. But I was like, yeah, but like plenty of people like came in at that same time and I could have like met anybody,
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think logically about this.
I know. I'm like, when it comes to love and like relationships, I think logically about it. Where it's like I do put like my heart into like relationships, but I'm also very like when I'm in a relationship, who am I going to benefit with, more? Like, who do I see myself? Like basically, what am I basing off my relationship, from, basically. So, yeah, I think that's why I kind of put it logically, because when I meet somebody or when I start a certain relationship, I'm kind of like weary about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's kind of how it was. I think that's kind of why I look at it very logically, and where he's very like, I put, my heart on my sleeve, and I saw you, and I was just like, she's the one, I'm going for you,
Yeah.
Because as soon as he walked through that door, he looked at me, and then he looked again, and he was like, oh, I like her.
That one's mine. Dibs.
Yeah. Dibs. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's just kind of funny how he's like, it was fate that we met. And I'm like,
Really?
I was like, right. I'm like, you think? Yeah. But he kind of probably was right, honestly.
Something happened.
Don't tell him I said that.
I'm like,
should we do the tarot thing?
We could. Do you want to end it with tarot?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of clear enough. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, this is how we have things set up, but we're gonna move these so we can
some over here.
Yeah. It's a good thing that this is like cloth, because it kind of catches the crystals, I guess, over there.
Forward.
Yeah. This is a 7 card spread. Did you want to pick out the cards? We basically do a reading for you.
See, we can do like energies, like
yeah.
So we have show the decks that we do have. I have like an astrology deck here, which they're 2-sided, so you can use them as they are, or just pull them for energy. To kind of introduce them to the decks that we have right now. I do have more at home, but we have Message from the Guides, which is a Hay House deck. Which ones you got over there?
This one's the Mother Peace Tarot. This is yours. This is the circular one that you have, isn't it?
Yes. It's one my Aunt Lois sent me. The images are from like 1981.
Yeah.
But the book is from 1980 or 1995.
Oh dang. People are getting down with tarot back in the day.
Yeah.
Too. And then this is one of mine, the Line Strider Tarot. This one I really enjoy. Mostly the art caught my eye, but this is the one that I mostly use.
Ironically, we have the same one.
Yeah, I always chose it too, and that's why I was like, oh, this one's perfect, because, And then both Kim and I have the same author did both of these, the Super Attractor and The Universe Has Your Back. So these are Oracle. These are more of the uplifting, positive cards.
Yeah, they don't really have any of the negative aspects to it.
Yeah, and then Rumi, which
my favorite.
Yeah, you absolutely love. So I figured it's fitting.
Yes, like it's more the imagery on there, like the artwork. If I had those hanging in my house, I would.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So did you want to go ahead and pull cards? We'll just.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do energies coming into 2021, which is going to be the zodiac energies. So we'll see how it goes here. I can try to attempt to shuffle in front of the camera, but it's hard because I have to lean over.
Yeah.
You saw how we were sitting.
Yeah.
Let's put this in the front. I'll put this at the end.
And I guess it's
we'll figure it out later, guys.
They're still figuring things out.
That's the title of this.
Yeah, we joked and said that it should be the name, like figure things out, where we figure everything out.
Welcome to the Figure It Out podcast. No.
Yeah. Overwhelmed in the figuring it out.
Here, see, is there gonna be ASMR to this?
Oh yeah, it should. Hopefully.
Slaps really loud.
I'm like, hopefully you like that.
All right, so it's gonna wait till one kind of.
Well, hello.
the first house. So that is house of the self, identity and individuality. I think it's fitting. People are ready to kind of go with their like what they wanted to do last year. Like, I'm ready to put myself first and do something. It's 2020.
How did
Get
that
like
go?
clear your vision type of thing.
Yeah. Tell me how that went.
We all know. But I mean, really, it gave us all time. I know we're all freaking out about a virus, but a lot of us had time to sit and think about what we really wanted to do in life.
Exactly. I was about to say this seems kind of fitting.
Yeah.
Even, during quarantine where you're figuring out yourself, your life and, hey, is the way that I'm living my life actually like making me happy?
Yeah.
Because I don't know about how anybody else is feeling, but particularly with our family, it was like, my husband's like, well, this kind of, what am I going to do about a job? And like, he thought about it and he's like, do I actually enjoy my job? Is it one that I really actually feel compelled to keep,
Yep. Like, yeah, here you see like the, maybe not, maybe I can bring it closer. Can you read that?
Or bring the light up a little bit more. Well, that works, but it's like, we're not going to keep the light up.
The ambiance of it. We'll read it off. Yeah. This will be good enough for now, guys.
Yeah.
So on the card it says temperament, style, personality, interests, behaviors, mannerisms. So goes with what we're already saying. The first house represents the outward presentation of your characteristics, behaviors, and dispositions. The first house is where the ascendant lies. The zodiac sign that is placed in the first house represents your unique personality traits. It symbolizes what you want out of life and how you go about attracting your desires. The path identifies how people see you. It generates your individual level of confidence and significancy and can be self-serving. Its energy is independent or intended for personal gain and the improvement of your well-being. So yeah, that's kind of what we're already saying. Focus on yourself and how you want to enhance your life in 2021. Yeah. I know a lot of people around the world are still like locked down and everything, but just think about it as more of a way to enhance who you are. I know we're in Texas, so it's not as locked down, and even our county is not even as locked down. But other places in the world, they're just hunkered down for a good long while. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people are, rats in a cage kind of thing. So we'll keep this up here. Energies overall. Yeah. Let's see.
I think even overall as like a reading too, even without quarantine, it's like you still always focus on yourself. This is more about like a you reading, kind of like what's your, I think it overall, even without quarantine and that, it still encompasses what everybody is focusing on,
Yep. So yeah, the first house, like also, new energies because it's Aries, so you're taking charge. It's like ruled by Aries up here. It says, so you're taking charge because what Aries does. Yeah. Which is a lot of, like, typically it's kind of the energy of the new year in general. People are like, I want to take charge of my life. I want to go work out. I want to go do this. I want to go do that. Like, I know we went shopping the other day. I'm like, oh, look. All the meal planning stuff's already out for the new year. Yeah. Because new year, new body, who dis type of thing. Yeah. All right, what is the next one? I'm just kind of like pulling things out.
Exactly like, what feels right. There's 7 cards total.
I don't know what the layout you're using.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Like, I'm shuffling my cards.
I know. I'm like, what feels right? So it's 3 on top, 1 in the middle, 3 down at the bottom. Okay. The middle one is the first one, starting out.
All right. That's cool. I didn't even need a book for that one. I mean, it already has a book on there. But...
I'm always wondering if I'm shuffling these enough. That's why I seem like I over shuffle, because I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's just you go with the feeling of it. Like
yeah,
you'll feel like this card, like all right, so shuffle at me.
yeah.
Me, I'll kind of shuffle a little bit, or I'll like these circle ones here. You can't really shuffle like that. There are naked ladies on here, so and I don't think they have naked men though. Like all the men are covered, but the ladies you definitely see their boobies.
What's up with that?
I think even I have to look. I'm like, they can't really shuffle those. I have to like.
No male genital?
How dare you?
I know.
I mean, it was going into the 80s, so maybe more Christian influence. I don't know.
Yeah, but still.
Christian influence on a tarot deck.
Everybody's like, I want to see boobies, and it's like, well, sometimes I want to see a penis, you know, like.
Really?
I know, but like, fair is fair, honestly. Like, can we just say fair is fair? Like,
and some people really like them.
I know.
Oh gosh,
and I don't blame them, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame them, but it's like, come on. What if we make it normal to see a dong once in a while? Can we just make it normal?
Just for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, 50 minutes of fame.
Yeah, it's like, I understand, like, the female body symbolizes beauty, but like, come on.
Oh no.
These are flowing really nice. My cards.
Yeah, if I shuffle them enough really they won't stick as much.
Yeah, because I was like, am I reading these right? Is it because like the same card kept popping up and I was like, maybe it's because I'm not shuffling them?
So yeah, with this one, so because you can read it like, different ways. It's like reverse, left, right, or, up, right. You can read both of those, like in the book. I like to like pick a card here and just spin it and then flip it over.
Oh.
And then it'd go. That's what I like to do. It's a little more fun.
Yeah, because you're like.
Alright, we'll hold.
They were getting
a few of those.
Okay. Did you want to do it? Is this like a general reading or is it?
Yeah, it's a general reading.
Okay, cool.
For anyone that's watching for the new year.
I feel like this one. This one.
Is that one?
One.
Set it to the side for now.
I don't feel a 2 in here.
Alright. Am I doing the one I have in my hand?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We'll shuffle up and deal. Ooh. You over there for now.
Yeah.
It's like kind of, I just kind of go through this one here. Just gonna stay open-minded. You can go flip that over.
Yeah.
It's one. 6 of Wands. This is the next one. Number 2.
So it would be 1 and then 2. I don't know if we'll have.
I have this one out.
Need a bigger table, man.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I know the one that I have at my house is more square.
Yeah.
Let's do this one next. What's
Should I?
Yeah, you can do it. What do we got?
5 of Wands.
Okay, this one, this is going to be 2.
Yeah.
Which one's, that one's, oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like 1 in the middle, 2 here, 3's right here, and then 4, and then 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Is that
It says more wands, 5 of Wands.
5 Wands, yeah.
Oh.
Reversed. Alright. Let's see. Now we're on 4.
Oh, reach crossed.
Yeah.
You can do that if you want. I'm just like...
Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7. So, yeah.
I'm shuffling, guys. Can't you see your dude off screen?
So 4 is Page of Pentacles.
Another messenger. 6 of Wands. I think it's a 7 of Wands. It's like receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And what's the next number? 5?
5.
Where's 5 go?
Right here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately towards the highest good. So 7 cards?
Yes.
Did you want to do the roomie or do you want to hold off on them?
No, I wanted to do the rooming as last.
Now on the roomie, I'll just read the this message. It's fine.
All right.
That one fell out. All right.
There he goes. Choose for us.
The courage of your love.
All right. So number 1 is the main theme of this new year, and you have the 6 of Wands. So let's go into 6 of Wands. The theme of it is accomplishment, recognition, acknowledgement, praise, pride, rewards. This is a card that celebrates you and your accomplishments. Hold your head high and feel proud of the things you have done and the person you have become. Maybe soon be in for a promotion, reward, or some public recognition of your work or accomplishments. This card indicates that you have approached your goals with strength, perseverance, and focus, and that others are taking notice. Now is the time to build your personal brand and capitalize on the fact that the world has its eyes on you in a very positive way. With achievement and praise comes the expectation of future greatness. Get ready to step up your efforts and take things to the next level. If you're wondering about your career in a professional or financial reading, this card may mean that recognition of your efforts and expertise is on the horizon, and that when others become more aware of your accomplishments, success and prosperity may follow. Take some time to figure out how to tactfully let others know about your progress. Update your resume. Make sure those recent diplomas, awards, and honors are front and center on your website. So, if you're wondering more about love, and when it reflects more about romance, this card is telling you that part of your appeal as a mate are the accomplishments you have under your belt. They are an important of what will help you become attractive to others or more highly valued and respected by your mate. And the correspondence numbers is 6, 32, 5, which we do have the 5 of Wands.
Yeah, right above it.
Associated birthdays is August 1st to August 11th. And then associated plants are bay laurel, hawthorn, and hazel. And so number 2 is departing energies from last year. And it's stay open-minded.
Interesting. So for stay open-minded, it states that your soul is in a constant state of evolution. It evolves in the spirit world as well as in the physical. But it is in the physical destinations, like Earth, that your soul grows exponentially. The lessons you learn while experiencing the illusion of separatedness,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, are so profound, and the paths that unfold before you can be surprising. That's why it is important to be open to change. New people, new ways of living, new beliefs, and new events are always a part of the soul's journey on Earth. To remain rigid in your thinking can prevent you from being introduced to new ideas that will enrich your adventure here. Life is all about transition, and when you remain receptive, you can experiment while you are fulfilling your blueprint. As you familiarize yourself with this card, picture a river that my right eye is burning, so.
Oh no.
What?
I don't know.
I was like, what does that mean? Someone in the comments tell me.
Yeah, right.
It's like I'm just reading, I'm like, oh, my eye. Let's see, anyway, where were they at? You can experiment while you are fulfilling your blueprint. As you familiarize yourself with this card, picture a river that begins in the mountains and ends in the sea. This is your life trajectory, but there are many tributaries that you can take and still reach your destination. Be open to investigating all the avenues that intrigue you. Some will prove invaluable and you may want to stay a while, and others may not, but to experience them at all is what matters. So those are the energies leaving.
Yeah, that was the departing energies from last year.
Okay.
And number 3, which is the 5 of Wands here in the middle, that would be the talents you will be expressing this year.
So it says the priestesses are struggling. I'm struggling to say that word.
Yeah.
The priestesses are struggling to see who will lead as a volcano goes off in the background. The phoenix, the bird of regeneration, rises from the flames. So here it's in reversed. So it says the lid is on whatever conflict she is having. Either it is resolved or this is a period of temporary peace, and she will have to re-engage in order to release her anger or resolve the conflict.
So that would be the talents of the so number 4 here we have the Page of Pentacles, and number 4, that would be your future opportunities. The page here is in reverse. So in reverse, the Page of Pentacles can indicate that something is getting in the way of your ability to manifest your dreams and goals. Perhaps you lack the skills, planning, or support that a project needs, and now is a time to work on that foundation before moving ahead. The earth must be tilled and fertilized before the seeds are planted. Focus on the long-term potential of what you would like to accomplish and lay a solid foundation. So I guess with future opportunities, it just sounds like you need the opportunity. When the opportunity arises, you need to put in the planning, take your time, really get the details before you
build the foundation.
Yeah, before you settle on moving on something huge,
Yeah.
And number 5 is upcoming obstacles. And this is one that's very straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah, this one doesn't have a book or anything. It's just whatever's on the picture.
So future obstacles. The universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately toward the highest good.
Which is like when like if you're coming up on an obstacle and you're just kind of stuck, it's a good time to turn inward and try to, if you more of a God like religious person, or even if you're just a spiritual person or atheist, you can still turn inward and see where you're at, and maybe it's something that's within your control. But if it's not, it's very good just to what people say, to give it to God.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not letting it go, you're just pulling the worries and the stress off of it. And typically it goes a little bit smoother when you do that, because someone has your back even if you don't see them.
Yeah, very true. And that, I think, leads to the energy of it too, which is like the first house, the self, like really, yeah.
A lot of this is about like, you've done well so far, you focused on yourself, I know this one's like, you might have like some anger, like residual anger from maybe something that's happened last year, but you will confront it at some point, and it's good to stay open-minded. The universe has your back in this, and it's okay to kind of let it go. Maybe you need to forgive someone, but you forgive them for yourself, not for them.
Yeah.
So you can let it go and just move on with your life because it's not serving you anymore.
I agree. So here we have here at the bottom how to deal with the upcoming obstacles. I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. Again, that's more of like the the I am, like turning to self and creating mindful moments throughout the day, reminding yourself that.
Yeah, you don't have to block out 2 hours every day to meditate on a pillow in the perfect situation. It's that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown that Mel Robbins does. It's just breathing for a minute, like notice your breath and just come back to the center, however that works for you.
Yeah, my favorite thing too is I take a color and I'm like, okay, blue. What in this room is blue? And I take time to like put myself back, and then that sets me into like, okay, this is blue. And then if I'm focused on something that is here now, what I'm doing, then
you like to have the colors.
Yeah,
color
blue, and then I'll look, and then that sets me back, and then it's like you're focused on you, and then here we have our last one, kind of cutting it short because
we're a time crunch now. So the courage of your love.
Yeah, and that represents how to achieve your goals and dreams.
I'm gonna read the little poem here, and then I'll go straight to the other things. As someone who loves poems and a poet herself. Love is without reason. Rationality is like a cane. Judgment needs a cane because it is blind. When love arrives, thought dies in its shadow. Love is the sunrise, while thought is only a flashing light. So you see the flashlight in there.
Mm-hmm.
This oracle comes with particular guidance for you. You are not to give into less than you are worth, or to the shaming stories of others of our culture that would cast your regal lion nature into the falsehood of beliefs that you have no choice or power. You are not to give into the idea that you are victim and cannot free yourself from your suffering, or that you are less than any other. These are lies. These are petty deceptions, so unworthy of you. Do not believe them. Roar at them until the weak glue holding them together melts under the fire of your holy breath, and they lie dismembered and powerless at your feet. Then intend that those bites and pieces of decay are lovingly returned to the earth, mother, through whom they can be used to fertilize new life. This oracle comes with another message for you. You have a challenge before you, or that you are now moving through. But you have what is necessary to succeed and overcome it, no matter how long it has endured, or how big you have built the challenge up to be in your mind. No matter how unsolvable the issue appears to be, there is and shall be a victory beyond it, and it is imminent. This oracle has come to you to let you know you are empowered to succeed. You have what is required within to do it, and that the time of your victory is drawing near. So do not give up. Instead, do the sacred honoring ritual as needed. And then there's a sacred honoring ritual with this, but we won't do it today. As needed. And when you feel so inclined, open your mouth and roar love from the very depths of your being. Create a sound of truth for yourself. In that sound, you will hear the mightiest of all roaring along with you, saying, "Yes, love, I am with you, and together we claim divine victory." So we roar how we roar. It's really hard to say.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Ew, that was really pretty, like, closing for this.
Yeah.
And it kind of ties everything together. It's like, we all have something that's going to be hard for us coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter what is happening externally and what is being told to us. We know our own truth. And we don't condemn people with hate. We love them, which is really hard to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because, judgment is, you have all these judgments and it's blind.
Especially during this time when people are very opinionated.
Yeah.
In that,
Yeah, and they feel their opinion, is the ultimate true opinion, which not always, but for them it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to consider that other people have their truths as well, their opinionated truths about the way they see the world. Yeah. And the only way we can get through all the judgment and the hate is by working together and seeing, hey, we're all human, having a human experience, and don't let media, if you want to say that, or your friends, the people around you, get you down and try to, I don't want to say poison your mind, but that's what's coming to mind, is you see here is a single flashlight, you focus on one issue when you point to a flashlight, but really you should be looking at the whole picture. Mm-hmm. And seeing what's really happening.
Yeah.
No matter if you're a conspiracy theorist or if you're a sheep, we all know in our life that there's something wrong in some way.
Yeah.
And don't get angry at it.
Yeah.
You love yourself through it. Come back to center, come back to you.
Yeah.
Just love, again, house of the self. We're all growing. It's if I remember correctly, Aries is the baby. So you're at stage 1 again. Mm-hmm. And we all have to grow through these trials.
I think too, when a lot of people have problems and they reflect it on somebody else, it's something that's also going on inside too.
Yeah.
It's what's happening with you, and I think that's why you have to keep the mindful moments. Mm-hmm. And stuff and realize, what is it that I'm actually upset about? Is it with this person, or is it something that's going on with me?
Yeah, it's is it because I burned the food, which is an annoyance, or did I burn the food because I wasn't paying close attention because I was storming inside, or whatever it is.
Yeah, something. Yeah. So, I think this was a good close.
Yeah.
And hope you enjoyed
the reading, and
I hope that it also applied and it was very helpful to you as well.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll see you back here on Overwhelmed.realm, and I hope this helped you come back from being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Really. Now do all the things like, subscribe, comment.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell. Mm-hmm. We should have a bell.
I think of the song.
Yeah.
Ring my bell.
Yeah. There's I'll get into that later. I'm just going on a tangent again.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Bye. Spirit fingers.